2-1.
Yeah, he had a great game one. Led the game off with the single, came around to score to put him up early in the first inning, and actually reached base to lead off 3 separate innings, getting the leadoff man on. Singer's fastball looks as you'd expect early on, 94, 95. Tough for Daytona there to catch up to it. Saw a real aggressive approach in game 2 from Seton Hall, swinging at a lot of first pitches. Wouldn't be surprised to see them try and go with that again, as they had
Quickly, and now the 0-1.
just missed on the outside there. Singer throws a hard two-seam fastball with good movement that'll run back in on right-handers. He tried to run that one back in over the plate, just missed.
The 1-1 is fouled off himself.
Yeah, you see that run right there, kind of gets in on Molina as he just fouls it off what looked like his foot.
And he gets him on.
Yeah, you saw right there the hard slider. It comes at 82 with some real wicked break really across the whole strike zone there. It starts out on the inside part of the plate and breaks into the Singer's been living low in the zone here early on, spotting that fastball real effectively.
DiBenedetto, it was a long first game of the doubleheader. It went 13 innings and it played in Seton Hall's favor.
Yeah, it was a grind, a real battle, real treat to watch. Seton Hall just kind of grounded out, executed to perfection, had the sac fly late. Yeah, there's going to be an increased focus on both starting pitchers tonight. With game 1 going 13 innings, neither team really wants to get into the bullpen early tonight. Yeah, switch hitter. Go up from the right-hand side in game 2 here with the lefty Dana.
Do you think they washed those jerseys before this game, or they just kept them on?
They look pretty clean. I don't think they washed them, but they do look, the shirts anyways.
The Dalton Guthrie, he got dirty last game with some slides at shortstop as Dana throws to first.
Were they wearing orange earlier, though, on the top? Did they switch?
They definitely changed the tops for the
Okay.
lead at first. And the pitch. Outside breaking ball.
Yeah, tried the curveball there, didn't really finish it, didn't come around. And
he hits it right back to Dana. He's going to go to second and get the lead runner.
Yeah, nice play by Dana there to field his position, go to second and get the lead runner.
As we saw last game, stolen bases are going to be critical, especially.
Yeah, I think they might be a little bit more critical for Seton Hall.
As he takes strike 1.
As, you know, they're going up against Brady Singer, who's coming in with an ERA just over 1, if I recall correctly. And Colin Dana, he's had flashes where he can be that guy, but, you know, a little less proven than Singer. So Seton Hall might have to manufacture their opportunities a little bit more than Florida. Just going back to Guthrie over there at first, one of the jobs early in the game for guys that get on versus a lefty is to try and get him to pick over to first so your team can see that move.
He fouls off, now down 1-2. Elaborate on that a little bit more.
Well, you know, a left-hander, they're a little bit trickier to steal bases off of, to get a lead off of, and as a base runner early in the game that gets to first, you kind of want to draw a throw. Not necessarily, you're not going to try and steal early on. You want to draw a throw so your team, so yourself as well, can see that move, that pickoff move.
He throws out. Yeah, we haven't seen that step out. We saw the leg go up and then he goes towards first base. That's the first time we see him put his left foot out and throw to first.
You know, sometimes they'll have a few kind of fake moves to get you a little bit relaxed, so you think you can get back, and then they'll go with the quick one and try and get you. You know, with an 0-2 count, you might be inclined to take a little more of a chance trying to steal a base. As he was coming back into the dugout to grab his stuff, he looked a little angry with himself. It almost looked like he mouthed to the third base coach, Craig Bell, I couldn't get a jump, as he shook his head. Well, indicating he was trying to take second base or attempt to steal a base there.
As he looks at strike 1.
Meanwhile, Seton Hall is going to realize real quickly that Singer's unlikely to give many free passes, and they're going to have to be aggressive because he just keeps getting ahead of these hitters.
Yeah, Singer has more movement than Kowar, as you can see right there with that breaking pitch. He has a lot of movement on his two-seamer, and his breaking pitch is deadly, especially when you can locate it on the outside corner.
Yeah, it's a hard slider type break.
The 0-2. Gets him swinging out, foul ball to the left side.
And you know, with a left-hander up, that he can run that two-seamer. It looks like it's going to hit you if you're a left-handed hitter, and it runs back over the plate. Very, very difficult for a lefty.
Another 0-2.
Right there.
Strike
That's
3.
That's the pitch. That's the pitch.
A third strikeout for
that curveball. If he starts to finish it, it'll become an effective pitch for him. He's left a few up and away to right-handers so far.
So what do you mean when he needs to start finishing on those pitches?
As we saw earlier in the count, you know, he tried to bring that curveball, started out off the plate and bring it back over, and you know, he just didn't follow through, didn't kind of finish the pitch where it took that break back, and it just stayed outside really. Dana gets Rivera with a changeup here. Nice pitch, low and away to the right-hander, gets him to chase. Real nice spot by Dana. Another guy that's a able catcher for this Gator team that, you know, could be starting on a number of teams throughout the country.
And he hits one hard. This one's traveling to deep left.
Yeah, he gave that one a ride. Hit it right on the screws. Just a better job by Ramiz out there in center field to run it down. You know, we talked about earlier Seton Hall back in South Orange, New Jersey. They play in a giant ballpark, and they build their team accordingly. They load their lineup and outfield with speed, and they build their team around making those plays, running down those balls, and you see it come into play right there.
Yeah, they're hoping to get the first run again tonight. Here's Chris Villa making his first appearance of the series.
With runs tough to come by, they might square around here and try and manufacture a run early.
Brady Singer throws strike one to Villa. Villa making his first appearance of this series, batting .304, 5 RBIs on the year, no home runs. And Alicio not taking that big of a lead on first. And he tries to square up the bunt.
See, that's interesting to me. He didn't square around on the 0-0 pitch. If you're thinking you want him to bunt, I would put it on from the beginning of the at-bat, so that way, you know, he's got 2 chances. When you fall down 0-1, it's kind of a tough spot to put a guy into bunt. Seemingly got a pretty good read on it. Ball was just hit pretty well, and we'll see the replay here. Yeah, he gets a good jump on it. He just can't get there. He actually does a good job to keep it in front of him.
Singer wants to do a mound visit with catcher Colo.
I would fully expect a sacrifice bunt situation here, and might be interesting to see how India over at third base plays it. We saw him really charge aggressively earlier in the game, or earlier in the day in game 1 in a bunting situation.
So now this is a big situation here, we'll see, and he does.
And this is a big spot in this game here. Seton Hall has to feel like runs are going to be at a premium against Singer, and they need to cash this in with at least another run, and really 2. That's a real good job by Dodona with 2 strikes on him to put the ball in play, realizing the middle infield is back, that a ground ball gets the run home, and Seton Hall up 2-0 with a runner on third and a chance to add one more here with less than 2 out. Brought the infield in here. Up the middle, they're playing somewhat halfway, but they're more in. They want to cut off this run at the plate. Yeah, as you see the replay there with the infield in, the chopper gets over the third baseman's head, and Molina chugging around the bases into second with a stand-up. I think the question is going to be Florida's or Seton Hall's ability to keep Florida below, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 runs in this game if Seton Hall could push 1 or 2 more. Singer's stuff still looked very, very good. I wouldn't expect Singer to give up much more, and would not be surprised to see him leave this game in the sixth inning having only surrendered the 3 runs we've seen so far. And Seton Hall is aware of that. Yeah, we'll see Larson here getting the start tonight. Nice opportunity.
And lost his starting job to Danny Reyes and a combination of Nick Horvath as well.
It's tough to hold on to those starting jobs when you're playing at such a top program that's getting the top recruits in every season. So it's not so much a knock on him as it is a testament to the UF program.
All right, to cover either center or right.
Good job laying off right there. Yeah, you said he's a defensive specialist and kind of a fearless guy, emulates his game after Pete Rose.
That's as fearless as it gets.
That's what he said. His favorite player of all time is Pete Rose, as he just loved the way he played the game with no fear.
Now he's facing an 0-1 count.
As Connor Hood at third base takes a couple steps in.
Looks at strike 2.
After Horvath showed bunt there, and now Hood will take a few steps back with 2 strikes.
Goes high. Horvath checks his swing, and he says that he was good.
Yeah, tried to climb the ladder there with the fastball, get him to chase. Dana threw that right where he wanted to, and almost got Horvath to chase it, but good job by Nicholas to hold up.
Well, Nick.
Yeah, great spot by Dana there. Change up low and away. We've seen it now a couple times to right-handers. Just real effective pitch for him right now. And as you can see there, he's doing a much better job with that curveball, spotting it, finishing it. Oftentimes you'll see that with lefties, that not as overpowering as a lot of the right-handed arms are a little more crafty, and he's throwing a few pitches effectively, moving the ball around the zone, doing a great job here early on. Second time he got him on the changeup this game. I don't think Seton Hall feels like they've really gotten to Singer. They've plated 3 runs, but they're still gonna. It doesn't change the fact that he's throwing 94, 95 with movement, and that's hard to hit regardless of how many runs you've scored. So a defensive player's dream, an infielder, an outfielder, because when your pitchers are working quickly like Singer does, you're just much more in the game, on your toes.
And then as a base runner there in the 4th inning for Seton Hall.
Yeah, Horvath got a great jump on it, charged it, gave a great effort. It looked like firsthand he trapped it.
Making him a hard out for Brady Singer.
Yeah, hard out, and as you just mentioned, the pitch count, with every pitch fouled off is another pitch Singer has to throw, and up at 63 pitches here, top of the 4th. That's another thing that's going to factor into the Seton Hall game plan, maybe try and get him out of the game.
And Mike fouls off another one for Singer.
That's a great pitch by Brady Singer. Fastball, 2-seamer right on the black, starts it out. It really starts in that left-hander's batter's box and comes back just over the plate. Working down. Tough for a right-handed hitter.
He swings and misses on the first pitch. He wanted that one. Up again, low.
Yeah, he's been spotting those off-speed pitches very well here since he's kind of found the feel for it after trying to find it there in the first inning. Yeah, I think that one just got under his legs. What could have been a double play ball. Yeah, not sure if it goes to the left of his glove or under his legs, but what looks like should be a 5-4-3 double play. Instead, you got runners on first and second with 1 out for the Gators and Mike Rivera coming up. He's calm and meticulous. It's not like a human rain delay, but he's definitely not working.
3-2. We could see the runners take off here. Maybe not.
Yeah, J.J. Schwartz. The problem is if
and he looks at strike 3.
And that would be the problem with sending the runners with J.J. Schwartz. If Rivera goes down, Schwartz is a sitting duck there going to third. And
Cullen Dana, 6 strikeouts on the day, and he can get out of this jam with a good approach against Mark Kolesvari.
Yeah, we'll see if he can pitch around the error. Real good pitch there to get Rivera with the pitch on the corner.
And strike 1, swing and miss by Colo.
There's that changeup again. outside away to the right-hander, and I mean he has spotted that changeup low and away just off the plate all night. Yeah, he starts him with the changeup away, then comes back with the fastball in the same location, which may look like the same pitch there to Cole Savari, and you know, when he realizes it's a fastball, it's by him.
And he's been getting those guys with the changeup away.
Yeah, that changeup away has been his strikeout pitch so far, especially to the right-handers, and you know, he's just been living out there all night long with a 4.7 ERA, and you know, you enter the game and think Brady Singer's, you know, the story on the mound, and that's probably what the scouts are thinking too. And then you come out, you see a guy like this, and you're saying, wait a minute, what's going on here? Yeah, Lippett probably taking there. Just, you know, a lot of times when guys aren't going to swing, they'll show bunt, try and throw the pitcher off a little bit. Sometimes that can actually act against you as a hitter, and you know, the umpire will kind of just give him a little bit more.
He hits one towards the first baseman.
It's going to be tough.
Toke took it himself.
It's kind of a good
job
by Toke to realize that Lippett is going to beat.
Just before.
It's a good job by Toke to realize that Lippett's going to beat Dana to the bag, who didn't really get off the mound all that quickly, and end up and just go and take it himself to get that out. Otherwise, that's a leadoff man aboard for the Gators. Yeah, not a bad idea there by Larson. Saw the third baseman back a bit and try and get one down, and you know, he bunted it the right way. It was either going to be a fair ball and a base hit, or a foul ball, and you know, now you got the rest of the at bat. Yeah, great job by Larson there, especially lay off that 1-1 pitch down, get himself in the hitter's count 2-1, then gets the fastball and takes advantage of it, depositing it into the left field bleacher. Even when Seton Hall got on the board 3-0, it was conceivable that Singer was going to settle back in, and he did just that, keeping the Gators in the game down 3 runs, able to push one across here, and now we're in a 2-run ball game.
A season high for him, and it's just the 5th inning.
Yeah, nice job by Dana there to bounce back after the home run, get the strikeout, and try and keep the Gators here at 1 run and preserve the 2-run lead. You know, you kind of get the feeling the same way that Seton Hall kind of grinded out game 1, the Gators might have to do the same thing here tonight.
Walking back to the dugout already.
Yeah, nice play by Hood to glove it on the dive. Throws back across his body a little bit up the line, a full stretch by Matt.
So we keep an eye on what he does.
Yeah, it's a little
to disrupt Colin Dana.
A little riskier proposition here. You don't want to get picked off. It would kill all the momentum, especially with no one out in the inning. Yeah, that's a pretty good pitch there, behind in the count 2-0, spotting that changeup on the outside corner.
He swings at that one, 2-2 count. That changeup away has been deadly.
It has been, especially to the right-handed hitters, and it's tough to adjust. And you know, J.J. Schwartz has to be thinking to himself, what do I have to do to see a fastball here? Gets ahead in the count 2-0, and you know, Dana just throws back-to-back nasty changeups on the outside corner. It's a good job by Dana after those 2 changeups. It's almost tough for Schwartz to expect that fastball, and you know, he's a little late catching up to it. Does a good job to fight it off. And, we'll see what happens here with the 2-2 battle. Changeup again, gets the strikeout. We'll see again here as Schwartz, you know, he's thinking fastball, and that changeup just drops down a little bit, and Schwartz swings right over. Yeah, let's take another look at this. I thought the throw was maybe a little low, but certainly should have been handled, but we'll see again. Yeah, Toke reaches for it. It just goes off what looked like the webbing of his glove. Probably a ball he should have had. Instead, India over to second, Guthrie to third. With 1 out here, the Gators are a base hit away from tying this game. The middle infield's back. Seton Hall will concede a run here on a ground ball up the middle. They're going to come home.
And Toke is going to go home, and they're going to have...
about that last play was Seton Hall was conceding a run on a ground ball up the middle, but the corners were still even with the bag. So, a ground ball to the first or third baseman, there was going to be that ability to come home as Toke did and cut the run off. He's been living out there all day and got Colsavari earlier on that changeup. We'll see if he goes back to it here.
India jumping back and forth from third base, trying to distraught the lefty, even though he can't see him. 3 straight balls.
He did go back to it, but not with that kind of accuracy, pinpoint control we had seen earlier. You wonder if at 92 pitches fatigue is setting in, and a long inning here on top of it with with the error and certainly having to work extra hard here in the 6th inning.
And he swings, gets to the third base, and instead of throwing
that's
it
going to
first,
plate the run though. That's going to plate the run. The run crossed home plate before the tag was applied, and that is going to cut the lead to 1 as third baseman Connor Hood elects to go with the tag rather than the force out at first.
Take a look at why that run counted for the Gators this last inning. So take us through it, Thomas.
All right, so we got 2 outs here. The ball's fielded by Connor Hood, and rather than go for the force, he goes for the tag. And this is a great job by both Rivera to go back to second and India on third base to run hard through home plate. When India touches home before that tag is applied, that run then counts for Seton Hall. Had Connor Hood elected to go to first and got the force out, the run would not have counted.
Kirby McMullen.
Pretty big spot for McMullen to put up a 0 here and get Florida another opportunity to tie or take the lead in this game. Yeah, a couple nice sliders there from McMullen. Gets the swinging miss.
Donna, the top of the order for Seton Hall, and he's throwing that breaking pitch early and often as he gets it for strike 1.
Yeah, that one had a little more loop on it. Not sure if he throws both a slider and a curveball. He gets the fastball by him there at 91. A real good job by Colin Dana to get out of the last inning. Unfortunately gives up the run on kind of the fluky ground ball to the third baseman where he elects to tag. Connor Hood elects to tag the base runner Mike Rivera rather than throw across for the force out. Nonetheless, as you just alluded to there, up at 95 pitches, magnifies the importance.
And Lippitt takes that breaking pitch, goes straight to Mike Caputo, and that is the first out of the inning.
The importance of being able to get out of that inning when he did. Big reason why he's back out there here in the 7th. Yeah, tried to kind of catch Seton Hall by surprise, tried to lay one down. Ball went foul. Kind of fell down in the count, 0-1. Then worked it back in his favor, then got the fastball that he sent into the left field bleachers.
Now he's up 1.
Great job by Larson really all night. He's laid off a few tough pitches low and really hasn't given in to Dana the way that some of these other UF hitters have chased pitches out of the zone.
Dana 3-1 delivery.
Just going
Fouled
back
off
to that decision by the third baseman to go for the tag, you really have to credit Mike Rivera, the base runner on second, for understanding the situation and running backwards to second. And he knew it right away that him getting held up in that rundown allowed India to score. I saw him point to the plate to plate that run, and give Mike Rivera a lot of credit for understanding the situation.
Oh, and he hits another one very hard. This one is a no doubt.
Yeah, he did not miss that one. That one left in a hurry. And just another great job by Ryan Larson to battle Dana, not give in, not chase those pitches down, work the count back in his favor, and gets the pitch, and he does not miss it. And you got to feel great for Ryan Larson, a guy that struggled last year, found himself out of the lineup, gets the opportunity here, Game 3, and has a career night. I mean, Dana had all his pitches working, certainly pitched well enough to win, and really deserves to be in line for the win. Solely going to the pinch hitter here versus the right-hander. Try and get a little bit more power at the plate. Horvath's a switch hitter, but just really a little more power out of Keenan Bell that can put the Gators in the lead with one swing of the bat.
Almost gets Bell on that one, off balance, but he was able to follow it off.
Nice curveball there, and a good job by Bell to fight it off and stay alive here. And as you mentioned, he hasn't pitched too much here for Seton Hall this year, but did have a very impressive summer in the NECBL. Reese will hit from the left side here for the first time tonight, facing the right-hander. Gets a little out in front of the curveball there. Squares it up, hits it well. Just a little out in front. Now he's got a battle. Down 1-2 here, and McMullen been real impressive here tonight, and pretty sharp here to start the 8th, it looks like. You know, we were saying this kind of had the feel of that game 1 when Seton Hall trailed and just clawed their way back. Now you look at the Gators doing the same thing, down 3-0. They cut it to 3-1. They get the run pushed across 3-2, and Larson with the big fly to tie it at 3.
And now 3 straight foul balls from Molina.
Cole Savara trying to get a check call, and maybe he swung at the pitch. I think it's wishful thinking, but we'll see. The other thing he could be asking for is a foul tip, because he did catch the ball, and if it was a foul tip, it would be strike 3 as well. So he could have been asking for either the swing or the foul tip caught for strike 3. I think he was probably trying to get the foul, saying it might have tipped his bat, but from that replay, it clearly went over it. He's been real effective, as you said, struck out the side in the 7th, and Zlenko likes to get that back foot almost all the way back on the chalk, just kind of see that ball travel a little bit more.
He almost got him chasing on that high fastball.
Now, the only problem with that is when you face a guy with a good curveball, as we've seen with McMullen, you allow that pitch to break.
And he gets him! 5 straight strikeouts for Kirby McMullen.
Nice fastball by McMullen there, but when you throw that curveball and you're back in the box, you allow that pitch to break a little bit more as it travels, and it becomes a more difficult pitch to hit. Whereas if you're up, be a true test for the Gators. Seton Hall's got some great arms out of the pen, good closers, and as we saw earlier, a great effort from Colin Dana. Some great pitching here this afternoon, and as you said, Ryan Larson really the difference for Florida and the reason we have a tie score here. Seton Hall here has their first and third baseman guarding the line, trying to eliminate a double. Yeah, good job by Guthrie there. Leadoff man, job to get on base. Interesting curveball there in the dirt. Guthrie might be a little upset with himself, as that could have been an opportunity to recognize that pitch down in the dirt and take second base. Just may not have seen it well enough out of Polidi's hand. But that's something when you're a base runner there on first base. If you see that ball angled down where it's going to bounce in front of the plate, you can get a more aggressive secondary. And when you see it bounce and the catcher go down to his knees with that chest protector, you just take off for second and you make it down there easily. Yeah, that ball was smoked by J.J. Schwartz. A little too hot for Caputo to handle at second. We'll see how they score it. This could be scored as a double, actually.
That was hard hit.
Yeah, I mean, if they score this a hit, it's got to go as a double. Nonetheless, the Gators have runners on second and third with no one out here in the bottom of the 8th.
And they did give J.J. Schwartz a hit.
Yeah, if that's a hit, it's got to be a double.
And it is ruled as a double. Probably going to have the corners in, and they're maybe going home on this one.
Yeah, they're going to bring the whole infield in here because the thought is any run at this point is probably going to win the game, and you can't concede another run. So they're going to have the whole infield in here. Yeah, tall task here for them, coming in obviously with runners on second and third, tie game, nobody out. By Jonathan India there, jumping on the first pitch curveball, elevating it out to left center. Plenty deep enough to score Guthrie from third base, putting the Gators in the lead 4-3, very similar to the way Seton Hall took the lead in the 13th with the sac fly earlier this afternoon.
Very, very true, and now Mike Rivera up with one.
Vito just got in on his hands a little bit there. Probably looked like it was going to be hit a little harder off the bat, but he kind of just jammed him a bit and got the soft one hopper to Molina at short for the second out here in the 8th. And you know, there's still a big spot here for the freshman to keep the damage at 1 run, give Seton Hall an opportunity to come up in the 9th, much like they did earlier tonight, down 2-1, or earlier this afternoon, down 2-1, where they were able to push one across and push it into extras. And as you see, J.J. Schwartz really working to try and get himself as big of a secondary lead as he can to give himself the best chance to score on a base hit to the outfield. And Seton Hall has shown the ability to manufacture runs in big spots against tough pitching so far this series. So this game far from over with the Gators taking the lead here 4-3. Like I said, he came in a real tough spot with runners on second and third, and all things considered, if he's able to get out of it with Seton Hall down just the 1 run, he's got to feel pretty good about it. We talked about it earlier after Seton Hall plated the 3 runs, how important it was going to be for Seton Hall to continue to take advantage of their opportunities, because you just expected Singer to kind of shut them down, get in his groove and go the rest of the way. Yep. Good job by Toke to lay off there, and good job really on these past couple pitches, fouling off a tough 2-strike and laying off there to get back into the 3-2 count.
And misses.
And I mean, that's really what you call, working for a walk, fouling off a pitch or two and laying off a tough, close pitch on the outside corner, and then laying off ball.
But now they have Matt Fortin in to face the lefty.
Yeah, when they see the left-hander, they're just going to play the matchups here, and
as he hits it towards,
and it pays off for Rob Shepard. Yeah, the middle infielder's looking for the double play, shading up the middle there, and able to just roll it through the 5-6 hole. And Seton Hall threatening here once again in the 9th inning with the tying run. Now in scoring position with 1 out.
Now is going to face Chris Villa, and he takes strike 1.
Yeah, Sully gonna go to the right-hander here with Chris Villa and Hood coming up next. 2 right-hand. Probably looking for a strikeout here. Just a little tougher matchup for Seton Hall.
And he gets him on the breaking pitch.
Real nice job by Byrne there, coming in, firing a couple strikes, and then getting him to chase looked like a curveball, slider, some type of breaking pitch just off the plate. Really located well, and Villa just chased it to go up against the right-handed Byrne.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, he could pull Baker, the left-hander, in from right field to pitch here.
That's one of the reasons why he has him in the outfield, and that's strike 1 from Byrne.
But, I think we just saw how efficient Byrne was with Villa that, I think he's probably just deciding to stick with him here.
Right, the battery.
That's a great point. If Sully goes to Baker, he may be afraid that Seton Hall then pinch hits Mogs, pinch hits with someone else for Mogs. Sully probably wants to see Mogs, given what he's seen so far. The overhead shot, the Gators infield playing pretty deep here with Mogs. Not a very quick runner at the plate. Give him a little more depth to knock down a ground ball and keep it on the infield. he's thrown that slider and spotted that pitch pretty well. I wouldn't be surprised to see him try and get him chase one more time.
And he gets the breaking pitch.
Yeah, 22 innings of baseball, and it was well worth it. 2 great games today, 2 one-run games, and you know, just a real treat for all of us today.